The capital markets in Zimbabwe are currently experiencing a modest upward trend in most of the broad market indicators, with the increase in the all-share index mainly attributed to increase in share prices. That, of course, pushing up the overall market capitalization there. For more on the Zambian capital market developments, we've got Dr. Wale Chabala, CEO at the Zambian Securities and Exchange Commission, joining us from Lusaka. Thank you very much for joining us today, Doctor. So we have seen an uptick there in the market cap, sitting a rise there of 25%, but volumes have been down quite dramatically over the period. Turnover down 55% and volume of share traded down 77%. So tell us about kind of the themes that we've seen playing out and why we are seeing depressed volumes during this period. First half, that is.
Right. Sure. Thank you very much for having me on the program. The market capitalization is obviously made up of the prices of all the shares on the market, and where it increases, it's mostly due to increases in prices of some of those shares, and also increase in some of the number of shares on the market. So we've seen increases, tremendous increases in Invest Trust Bank PLC, Standard Chartered PLC, and Zambia over the period that we are looking at. And national breweries also. Decrease in volume. There's been a number of activities on the market that have been more to do with structural changes in the market. So you've had some consolidations due to the fact that we've rebased our currency. But we've also had some consolidations due to entities that have sought to meet the recapitalization changes from the Bank of Zambia. So those have had impact on the volumes.
Now, of course,
but overall.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
Sorry.
No. Carry on.
Yeah. But also, I think it's important to say that what we probably don't see in the capital markets in Zambia is the reflection of the overall makeup and performance of the economy reflected in the capital markets. So we see GDP growing in the near 10% sort of numbers, 7 to 10% sort of bracket, but we don't see that reflected on the market. We see a very diversified economy in terms of the makeup of the different sectors to the GDP. We don't see that on the capital market. So obviously all these are areas of improvement that we need to look into in terms of where the market should go.
I mean, that of course would fit under your role right now, trying to entice more companies to list. We know that Prima Reinsurance, an indigenous reinsurance company, is looking to list to raise capital. But how difficult is it to get new companies to list, to get local companies to list? And what type of conversations are you having with these companies? What do they raise as their biggest concerns?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and Prima Re in particular is a good case in point of a local indigenous company that's looking to come to the market. We would love to see more of that, and why don't we see more? I think it's predominantly the knowledge of how capital markets work and how capital markets can be used by the business community in the country. There is such a shallow depth of capital penetration in the markets, simply because most of these entities don't understand that if they can borrow from the bank, they can also borrow from the capital markets. And if they borrowed from the capital markets, their debt structure will be probably a lot more amenable to what they're trying to do with their businesses. Listing, most entities in Zambia would rather they didn't share their business with other people if it's an indigenous business. So Prima Re is different in this case. They are already looking to build up their share holding to a point where they can come to the market through a process that we call introduction, and they're actively doing that. They are the first reinsurance business that is indigenous in Zambia. A lot of reinsurance business goes out of the country, obviously needing to deal with issues of SI 32, SI 55, and all those good things that have happened in the economy. But Prima Re, as a local reinsurance company won't have to deal with all that. So we really are keen to see this company grow. We're keen on it coming to the market to raise capital for its capitalization needs. We're keen to see it actually listing to bring in other share owners in the company.